in 1960. There were a lot of things that fostered hospital-acquired infections. There was not enough hand washing, and of course there was no alcohol hand sanitizer. Hospital infections were actually a source of revenue for hospitals at that time because they lengthened the patient stay even longer. There was really inadequate and inconsistent identification of organisms. There was nobody appointed to do anything to do with infection prevention. 1968-69, Claire Coppage at the CDC and Jay Sanford were teaching infection prevention in a course called 1200G.
The people there said, we need an organization. We need a way to communicate with each other. We need more training. We need more standardization. It's a lonely world out here trying to do this all by ourselves.
The participants, in addition to me, were selected by Claire Coppage from those classes she held.
And so the original steering committee was made up of faculty from 1200G and the participants.
Grace Moore and Julie Garner. Carol DeMille was a very good friend. And of course, Pat Lynch. In the first 3 days, we had accomplished so much. Established the organization and established committees and the logo and the officers and a plan. We were all so excited to get this going. We all pitched in $20 to get that first educational meeting going.
So that's how APIC started. We were confident that APIC would be able to make a great deal of difference within a few years.
In 1978, I went to my first APIC conference, and that was in Boston. And it was in a hotel, and I think there were not thousands there, but hundreds. And a couple years later, the Scenic Study was published. The Scenic Study was kind of like a foundation, and that legitimized the need for infection control programs within healthcare facilities. And that was in the early 80s.
APIC over 50 years has a long history of both research and moving that research into practice. In the early days, as we started, we actually used to collect research studies and share them out through newsletters with members. As we became a more sophisticated organization, we started our journal, which has become a leading publication at trying to get out the word about new infection prevention and control research. We're so proud of the great work that AJIC has had in terms of elevating the research for our profession. Accelerating the scientific advancement and practice of infection prevention and control is the first pillar of APIC's new strategic plan. It's always been our core mission, but with COVID-19, we recognize that we must increase the pace, develop guidelines, and provide access to leading policies and procedures for infection prevention and control.
So it's like a relay race. Each generation keeps taking the baton and moving it forward.
APIC is a powerhouse, and we are so grateful that it has developed into just such an organization that makes a difference in the lives of patients.
I think it was important then, and it is important now. And I'm still carrying the torch.
Happy birthday, APIC.
Happy birthday, APIC.
Happy birthday, APIC.
Happy birthday, APIC.